A procedure being obeyed and a procedure being followed. Hello everyone, welcome back to another segment. Into this episode, let's dive into African lady who got married to a Chinese husband based in China. But before we forge ahead, we want to say a big congratulations to the family and most importantly for African lady and her husband, because she has been awaiting this particular period. She has been patiently waiting for the time she and her husband would be in the Chinese environment. It is a big smile, it is a big joy, and in fact, we don't know how to describe this particular feelings the both couples are feeling right away. Yes, you note that before this particular stage, it has been, when are we going? Is it true? Is it true? And you know one thing about the African setting, and mostly when you've gotten married for, I think I know more little, should I say yes, about the African setting, because I think I had at least been done well. Notwithstanding, we'll talk that in our subsequent edition. But one secret I just want to, put here about the African setting. If you're married, mostly important, one important fact is when your husband is not from within like the African, when he's from other country, when he's, for instance, just the African lady, her husband is from the Chinese environment. When you marry, your husband is not from the same country, the same state from where you are, or the same country. And all of a sudden, after the wedding, you are there with in your families, in your father's house, or in your mother's house, or in the family house with your husband, coming in, coming out, or staying in the States. And after doing the proper marriage, after doing everything, being the bride price and all of that, and you were still there. That was the kind of what is she doing? Why is she there? It doesn't mean that is it a fake or is it a real? They'll start questioning. They'll be on behalf, be questioning, the relationship, be questioning the marriage, and be want to know what's the problem is. Is a problem, or is it that the man doesn't have a place to stay, or the man he doesn't have a setting, he doesn't have they won't understand in details that they're actually having the visa procedure, they have often having a kind of arrangements, and all of that. They will start saying something that is irrelevant. That is, by the way, and that is real. And I believe, mind you, will not want to face such a molestation. And mostly if you have an enemy who just want to, scatter your mind and want you to see the other side of your husband, you just want to spoil your mind. So I think at that period, she was so smart enough. Yes, I said smart. Yes, she was so intelligent enough not to listen to anybody and not to listen to outside talk, but to calm her head down to follow her husband and also to listen to her mom's advice. And that made and brought us to the Chinese environment. So that is why we're congratulating her. Once again, a big congratulations. Yes, having arrived in the Chinese environment, there are certain rules and orders and regulations which needs to be obeyed and have to be taken seriously. With the assistance of a person, to be more easier for her to search through, and to be more easier for her to know those things which she's supposed to do, and those some things those do and don't. Well, you know that in today's package you're actually looking cute, they're looking more relaxed, they're looking more cool. The journey from Africa to the Chinese environment wasn't an easy task. But it's that they've relaxed, haven't been relaxed, they came, all over to visit the main leader, the person behind the success. In everything one is doing, you have to remember those, who are there for you when you are maybe in your struggling stage, not those that will come when everything is flowing in milk and honey, not those that will just want to dive in when they see that you are actually going to a next level, or when you are maybe in your should I say in your land of Canaan. I know someone will like, where's the land of Canaan? Well, in your relaxing moments, there are some persons who don't want to assist you, who don't want to come in. But when they found out that what the decision you've taken is the right one, or the decision you've taken is actually flowing well, and that is where you see them dashing in and finding all kinds of talk. Yes, because human beings are so crafted with talk. Yes, they'll find all kinds of sweet talk. Is it because you're married? Is it because this? Because that. But meanwhile, at the beginning, they are not supporting it. They don't want to have anything to even do with you. But when they found out that you've said true, that is when they will try to start creeping in. So be mindful and be watchful to guide your own. So I so much like what other Chinese husband did by invite or carry his wife, his new wedded and new skin wife, to meet his boss, for a visit, and then the next step to taking have to be, strike out as time proceed. So, but before then, every other document needs to be processed, needs to be, handled carefully, and needs to be done accordingly, so that you will not have a case where they'll say your time is off in the Chinese environment, you have to go back. And mind you, if you're checking our recent video, I think for those who are interested, and someone are like, I want a Chinese husband, I'm interested, I'm this, I'm that, I'm so much interested, please, the visa. There's one thing important. If you're checking our recent video, I think we'll talk more about that. We had a hint about that, but for a refresh of memory, we usually said that when you are interested in a Chinese man, or you're interested to go to the Chinese environment, you're assured that every year you need to renew your visa. That is a compulsory act. I don't know, I have to check if the law has also been changed, but that is the main law. You have to renew your visa every year. It's compulsory. And mind you, the Chinese men, in fact, is sweet. That is one thing. Be well assured you've been taken good care of. Food, you lack nothing. In fact, yours is just to try your possible best not to do eye service. Calm your head. Just be yourself and do that thing which you ought to do, accordingly. Don't be pushed. Don't be, I want to do this to be pleasing everybody. I want to do this. I want to do that. Please, just relax. Just be yourself. Do you know the reason why I'm saying be yourself? Because in marriage, you cannot fake it. In marriage, you cannot fake it. That is a great point there. I think in our subsequent edition, we are going to talk more about that. In marriage, you cannot fake it. Yes. Just be your free self. If you can walk, fine. If you cannot walk, let them know you cannot walk. They are going to assist you and they are going to help you. I guess someone was saying that the Chinese people, they are so much involved in farming, and they love farming. And if she's not strong enough, she will not be able to get married to the Chinese people. But I would like to tell you that I think the Chinese people, they are not looking for strong people, okay? It's not about the strongness or how your hand can jack things. It's just all about love. It's just all about you being yourself. It's all about you obeying the rules and regulations and be a calm-headed person. And that is where you enjoy the fruits and also the milk of the land. All right, so that African lady, she has arrived, and those things which she needs to do, the ought to do it. You see, today she's looking so freshed up. Her mind is beginning to see reality. She's beginning to know where she's been married to. She's beginning to know more about the environment, and with the assistance of her husband, I think everything will go well. And in today's meeting, which they came to sit about, according to him, he said if they should, involves in the video making, it's just a decision. It's not compulsory. All right, it's not compulsory. It's not mandatory that they should or must do it. So it just needs to ask their concepts, because this is a too mature person we're dealing with now. So if they said yes, if they said no, well, so according, their reply was yes, which was a good strike and which was a good go ahead. Well, we wish our African lady a good stay over there in the Chinese environment, and we wish her all the best, the marriage, packed loaded, all the best, the peaceful marriage, the enjoyable things in the marriage. In fact, and one most importantly, the fruit of the womb and the gifts of life. Hannah, you see the smileness, the laughter in her husband's face, feeling so relaxed and feeling so composed. This is a man who is ready to handle his wife with care and ready to make a home. When you see a man who is prepared for marriage without nobody telling you, you will know that this person is prepared for marriage, because a man needs to be calm, a man needs to be focused, and a man needs to be attentive to his wife. Not a man, who has several concubines. When you have several concubines, also several girls, you will just be distracted. In fact, you waste all your resources. In fact, you just be distracted. Yes, the truth about it is that you just be distracted. That is why the Chinese law, if you see the Chinese people, it's compulsory that they get married to one man, one woman. The husband must get married to a one woman, and that is being focused. And that is why if you check the Chinese family, they have plenty of elderly people, because they have peace of mind. They plan for their future. They know life. They know what life tells. Not, the one that you're marrying one, you have one girlfriend one side, distracting you, and you have one concubine, you have two concubines, you have three concubines, and then your resources is just scattered. You cannot build a home. You cannot build a family. You cannot even focus. That is why, before the Chinese people, I think they go for marriage, you have like a kind of leader. You can see here he has a boss, and his boss, has one wife. When he traveled to Africa, that he went along with his wife. He did not go there alone and then expected that his wife should, be one side while him doing something else in with other African ladies. So the transparency with the Chinese people has given them high-rated, should I say, score among the people or the countries, because they are calm, they are peaceful, and they are focused. And if you get married to them, they love you to the, I say they love you to the words. You just have to complete that. They are so calm, I'm telling you. So, note that our Chinese African lady, she's blessed to have gotten a very calm, listening husband whose head is calm and who is ready to display and to take care of his wife mightily. He's falling in love with her, and the both are couples are ready to take on a strike on the joint of marriage. Well, all right, this is where I'll be wrapping up today's episode, and I hope you're lighting on today's package. Please stay tuned and stay blessed, and always remember, lovelies, stay cool for now. Bye for now.